okay, guess we doing just fine. Said I'm not yours, so I see you're not.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Monster Hunters video. So this is going to be a video on the upcoming Colossal. So there's an Colossal coming out, and it is light this time. It is light element based, and I'm guessing it's going to be Magic's next or something. I'll make a video on that as well. So if you guys want to see a video on that, make sure you're subscribed and you have notifications on. But for now, we're going to be basically focusing on the light element because this is going to come up very soon. I wanted to make this video so I could help you guys out. So we're gonna start off from worst to best, okay? So here, this list right here, you see the first row. Actually, let's include the second row as well. Honestly, out of all these monsters, I'm not really a big fan of them since they're just commons, uncommons, rares, and epics, right? They're not really that good, but some monsters you do want to pick up because you can use those monsters to breed other legendaries. And I know mythics and cosmics are now the big thing, right? You don't need legendaries anymore. Well, you do actually. I know a bunch of people are saying like you don't really need it. Well, you do, because those monsters, like let's say Arch Knight, right, or any other breedable legendary monsters, you'll see a bunch of those being used in another breeding. So pick up these monsters that are needed. So let's say if you don't have Skipples, right? Or Skipless. What is it? Skipples? Skipples. If you don't have this monster, you could go ahead and get it, because then you can combine this with Duchess, right? I'm hoping you can breed Duchess as well. So you combine them, you could get Arch Knight, and Arch Knight could be used later on in the type of breeding. Another good monster to get would be Goldcore. Okay, Goldcore is one of the monsters to use to breed. I think it was Arch Knight? Was it Arch Knight? It is a monster to use to breed one of the legendary monsters, the breedable legendaries. So pick them up. These other monsters, honestly, I don't see anyone good here that you could use. Maybe Femelina. If you don't have Femelina, you can go on and grab it during Colossal. Honestly, another tip I could give you guys for those starters, if you're gonna participate, this is your first Colossal, or let's say it's your second Colossal, or whatever, right? And you don't have too many monsters, right? Let's say you can't breed a legendary monsters when the not just legendaries, but let's say elites and stuff like, right? When they make a chart for the monsters that are revealed, which ones are breedable and what the combo is, and let's say you're missing most of them, but you have the other ones, right? It's okay. If you don't have those monsters, make sure to use the monsters that you have to get them, even if they're, let's say, epics, even if they're legendaries, right? Make sure to get them, pick them up, whatever it is, just pick them up. It could be for collection purposes, it could be for using it in battles just to start off with and stuff. So yeah, pick up yourself a Femelina if you can, and then Arch Knight, once again, you can just go ahead and combine the breeding combos, which I think it's this monster with Goldcore. If I'm wrong, just correct me in the comments, please, and thank you. But yeah, Bones and Core, I'm not really a big fan of that. I don't think that'll be that useful. I don't think it is that useful, honestly. I haven't seen this monster being used in a breeding recently. I don't have this monster. I think I have it on my storage, but I never got the chance to actually hatch it, so I'm not really a big fan of that. These other monsters, I haven't seen them in breeding recently. Euro, okay, so this was one of the best monsters back in the days. Like, this was one of the coolest as well. Look at monster. And I was really a big fan of this monster, but then later on it just fell off. He was a really good resurrector, so if you need a resurrector, you can pick up Euro. But aside from that, let's see what else we have. General Ingevar, sure, I guess you could pick this monster up. He's a good support, but not the best, especially against the Mythic era. But let's say you're not in the competitive part of the game yet, so you're just a starter or something. Getting General Ingevar will help you out, okay? This is a support monster. He could apply blinds, he could also apply life regen to your allies, precision, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And it's a team shop monster, so let's say you don't want to waste up your coins or whatever, you can pick it up right here just through the breeding. We have Ogma. Ogma is a support monster. Yes, he could apply shield, he could apply a bunch of things, and you could also do some damage. So you can pick up Ogma if you'd like to as well. Aside from that, these two epics, not really a big fan of them, and I don't think they'll be useful in any breedings. Maybe this one for epic breeding, but Lathe, okay, Lathe in the other hand, this monster, he could apply Death Countdown. Yeah. So if you're a fan of that, you can go and pick him up. King Darren. Now, I never actually had the chance to pick this monster up before, but let's say when the combos are out and most of the monsters I can't breed, this one I can, then I'm gonna go ahead and do it, just for the collection purposes. This is the queen version basically, and I don't think she can resurrect. I don't remember actually. I'm not sure if she can resurrect, but she does have immune to Death Countdown. Same thing with the king one. Then we have Lox Aura. So Lox Aura, I believe this is a support monster. She could also daze and stuff, but you won't really see this monster as much, honestly. Not anymore. I remember when she came out in the superhero Maze Island, but yeah, not really a big fan of her anymore. And I guess you could only pick it up for collection purposes. Shakti, same with this, collection purposes. Valgar the Pure. So let's say you don't want to waste your war medals with the war coins on the chest to randomly get this monster, right? Well, you can breed it here. You can go ahead and breed a Valgar the Pure for collection purposes. Yes, it's unfortunate to say some of these OG monsters that were really good, now the only reason to breed them would be collection purposes. Unless if you're a starter and you can actually breed this monster later on, then yeah, I'd say pick him up, sure. Hase, not really a big fan of him either. I have Heiji at rank 5 and yeah, he's not... Katia. So Katia is a resurrector. So if you need a resurrector in your team, you can go ahead and pick this monster up, and she's a really good support. We have Lala. She's basically a type of monster that would apply total damage reduction and also a daze, damage reduction again, daze again. So you could pick that up. Incognita. This was one of my favorite monsters back in the day. She came out in 72-hour challenge one time, and I was really a big fan of her. It's a support monster, so if you need a support monster, you can pick it up. Demise, this was one of the best support monsters, like a couple of years ago, before all the elites came out and the whole meta started. This used to be one of the best monsters, and I was really a big fan of Demise. We have Monkey here. Monkey, I think this is, I don't know if this is a support monster. I don't think it is. You can pick this monster up for breedings as well. I've seen it a couple of times being used in breedings. We have this one. So this, I don't have it yet. I don't know what she could do. I guess she could apply daze and stuff. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just her ultimate. Aran, not really that good. Tega is a decent attacker. We have Bright. Okay, so yeah, if you want to pick up Bright, that's the only thing you can pick up, let's say, or one of the few you can pick it up for collection purposes or so, or just to even rank up if you're a starter. Ingivar's Pet, once again, this same thing applies to a General Ingivar. Collection purposes or to not waste your coins, war coins, picking them up from Team Shop basically. We have Bella Ball. This was one of my favorites before. She could self-support, she could blind, sunburn. Good monster, but not the best anymore, unfortunately. Global Rush, not really a big fan of him. It used to be a good monster back in the day. Smargle, I actually call this monster Voltic's pet. But yeah, the only reason that I like him now is because of just the design. The design looks pretty darn cool. Other than that, unfortunately, this monster isn't so good, especially if you're going to use this monster against, let's say, mythic monsters, or not just mythics, but like any monster that has anticipation. Unfortunately, the anticipation is going to be the counter because this is like an actual turner type of monster. He could also damage reduction as well. He could apply that. Ingivar's Bodyguard, same thing. Like I said, same thing applies with Ingivar's Path and the other one. So all the Team War monsters, same thing basically. Patreon. So if you're a big fan of the YouTuber Popular MMOs, this is one of the versions of Popular MMOs. So if you want to pick this monster up, he's quite good for starters. So if you want to pick him up, yeah, he's good. But against the meta nowadays, I don't really recommend most of the monsters that I just covered up. Ragnar, not a big fan of this monster. And then we're getting into the Nemesises. So here's the thing with the Nemesises, okay? The best one to pick up, in my opinion, would be Lambda Light of Freedom. Okay, he's a bunch of things, useful things actually. And of course, Bulwark trait. Not just this monster, all of the 3 versions have Bulwark traits and also same ultimates. Different styles, of course, and I believe also different skills. But my favorite one would be Lump the Light of Freedom. And if you want to pick one up, you can pick this one up. Let's say if you could breed all 3, but you want to know which one to pick up, make sure to pick up the light one. I know all of them are light, but the what's it called? Light of Freedom. This is the one that I really recommend breeding. So maybe me myself, I'll actually go in and breed that. Kara is he's a good monster actually. He's a good monster, but the same thing applies with this monsters. Like I said, extra turners, you know, anticipation is gonna be the counter. Cloud, this is another version of popular MMOs, basically the pet. So if you guys are a big fan of popular MMOs and you want to pick this monster up for a collection, he's a good support monster, but at the same time, I don't know if you want to pick him up though, like, probably just for collection purposes. It's just the stats against the current meta, you know, most of these monsters. Superion, it's whatever. Alkanon, he could apply CDA, so if you want a monster that could apply CDA, you could pick him up. Gakora is a support monster, he could apply evasion and everything. Rabish, I do not know much about this monster, he could probably possess or something. Rossigon, okay, Rossigon is a support monster, so if you guys want a support in your team, you can go ahead and pick up Rossigon. And he has Hardened as his trait. Okay, so we have Taigen, another version of popular MMOs basically. So if you are a fan of that, pick it up for collection purposes. And also, this monster has a pretty good trait, and it's Anticipation. So you can counter extra turners with this monster because of Anticipation. So that's going to be useful. So if you want to pick that up, go ahead. Skull Rivera, I wouldn't recommend breeding this monster, but if you want to... Oh, he has a pretty good ultimate. He can resurrect all allies with 100% life and then give 1 extra turn to all allies. That's really, really good. Okay, so Elvira's not going to be breedable, so we could skip that. Later Stellaris could apply evasion to itself, and also she's a pretty good attacker, so I don't know. If you want to pick it up, you can. Mishka, I have this monster, but I never fed it up. So I don't know much about this monster, but I wouldn't really recommend breeding it unless that's your only choice. Same with this one right here. Seika is a good monster. Okay, not the best against the current metas. Most of them, once again, aren't really that good against the current meta, but I actually kind of liked this monster before. The only reason for that was because she could apply Daze and Sunburn, which reduces the accuracy a lot. So the chances of the chances for the enemies to land their shots will be very, very low. So somewhat good. Clipium is a really good tank. Like, I think this monster is the best. Yeah, the best light thing that's going to be in this breeding. So if you need a Megaton tank, you can pick this monster up. You can actually get Taunt right away. So if you only breed one, you'll have Taunt. You'll also have Collectual, with which is a really good trait. So it gives immunity to stun, Megaton, and bleeding. And I believe at rank 3, when you get this monster to rank 3, he'll have, let me see. I think he'll have, what's it called? Megatons in the beginning? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But he definitely has a Megaton skill that you could get and use, that you could apply. So it's a really good tank monster to pick up, especially for the light element. Dragar, okay, this is a fast attacker. I've seen this monster being used multiple times in grand duels, and honestly, he's good, but not the best against the current meta. But if you could pick him up, either for collection purposes or if you're a starter, go ahead and do so. Wormlad is probably the best monster, I'd say, in my opinion. The best monster to pick up in this light Colossal. So when the combos are revealed, which I recommend joining the Monster Legends official Discord, they'll go ahead and share it whenever a breeding combo is found. You'll be notified, right? So Once you figure out, and let's say you have the combos, try to breed as many as you can, because here's the thing. This monster has a really good trait. First of all, dodge area. Dodge area is really good. The only thing about this monster is that it's slowly dying now because of the whole Pierce mechanic with the mythics, the cosmics and everything, especially like Vanos 2099, and I think it's Hardy. No, not Hardy. I forgot his name. It was the Earth monster in the Maze Island, the previous maze. Not the previous maze, but the previous maze. I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It was like an Earth Pierce attacker. But what's it called? Wormlad's a really good monster to pick up, and probably the best support slash attacker. Mostly support, I'd say. So it's a good monster to pick up, so definitely pick up Wormlad. Lighterium could possess. Yeah, he could mostly possess and also apply immune to control, and I think he could also cleanse. Cryxian Guard, honestly I'm not really a big fan of this monster, but he does have evolving trait, so immune to sun, rank 0, tough, and then status caster space time. So if you want to pick up Cryxian Guard, go ahead and do it if you'd like to. Nicasia is a really good monster as well. It's a good support monster, and she's pretty adorable as well. Look at that baby form. But what's it called? Dodge area is a really good trait to have. Once again, resurrection block, so you could use this monster against Miseris or any other monsters that could resurrect, even mythics, or not even mythics, legendaries too. If you get this monster to rank 3, you have resurrection block, so they can't resurrect their monsters at all. So if you want to pick up a good support monster with dodge area especially, pick up Nicasia. Rosyoko is a really good monster as well. It's a Pierce monster. Pierce is really good, and if you could get it to Anticipation as well, really good. And here's another good thing. Rank 3 gets you immune to control, so that gives you immunity to every type of control, basically, like freeze, stun, corruption, everything. So it's a good monster. Really good evolving traits in my opinion. The rest of them, unfortunately, you cannot breed, so cross out everything else in here. So it really just ends off at Rosyoko. And then back here Elvira is just crossed out, but everything else you can actually breed. And yeah, the best monsters to pick up overall would be Wormlad, in my opinion, Nicasia, Rosyoko. What else? I don't really have Cryxian Guard, so that's why I'm not going to share my thoughts about it. But Clipium is a really good tank, especially for the light element, right? Pick it up. Dragor is a good attacker. And I'd say that's pretty much it. Maybe Light of Freedom, if you want to pick up the Nemesis. You could use it in Nemesis survival dungeons. Go on and do it. But other than that, that's pretty much it, honestly. You could also pick up the breedable legends if you'd like to, because it'll be used in the breedings and everything. But I hope this video helped you guys out with what you need to do, basically, for the upcoming breeding. So I just wanted to make this video help you guys out. So I hope this helped you out, and if it did, help me out. Drop a like, okay? And also subscribe. Turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Peace out.